Welcome to Afternoon Express. Now, Easter is just around the corner and it is family time. So today we will explore the impact of family dynamics on mental health with clinical psychologist Mtati. She will also share some tips on how to be a better parent. We then catch up with Sama-nominated DJ and music producer Mr. Teller, as well as setting a gorgeous Easter table. Are you ready? Well, Z is. Over to you, Z.
Thank you, Pali. Joining me now is clinical psychologist Mtati, who's going to shed some light on the intricate connection between family relationships and emotional well-being. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you for having me.
Now, holiday time, family, relationships, well-being, they don't always go hand in hand in terms of being streamlined, right? Sometimes this is a difficult part of the year. So how would you suggest that we take care of our mental health when things are not so good with our family, but we've got to spend time with them?
You know, if you think about the holiday period, it's supposed to elicit a lot of joy, a lot of comfort, and it's supposed to be a period where you feel that there should be a celebration amongst family members. But it's not often like that with a lot of people because they are going back to environments where they have felt traumatized or environments where they don't feel safe or where the communication is not okay between themselves and the family members. So it's quite difficult for those individuals who are already struggling with their mental health to be in such conflictual environments within their families because we should be engaging in a supportive, in a loving way. And for me, for example, I might say that I look forward to going home because I know that my mom is going to cook something nice and I know I'm going to feel supported in that space, whereas for someone else it's different. So it's very important to be aware of that, to be aware of what being in that environment is going to evoke from you and what it's going to trigger. And as you go into that space with that awareness, it's then easier for you to cope and manage with the stress that it comes with.
Yeah, I love that, Sebokazi. So how does one then go ahead and bridge that gap between the social construction of the happiness and the joy that one is meant to feel around family holidays and the fact that there's no one that triggers us more than our family.
Yes.
And the fact that you could potentially be going to a family celebration, but you're not feeling the celebratory feels that you're meant to feel. How does one then go and balance that out before you go into that situation? Like, can you give me some practical tips?
So, for example, one of the first things is traveling. We travel right to our home environments, to our hometowns. So it's quite a bit of a stressor as well. Financially, packing is a different issue on its own. And there's also those expectations that our parents or extended family members have from us, especially if you're a breadwinner. So it's about, understanding what they expect from you, but also managing those expectations, because if you are unable to meet those expectations, then you need to actually communicate clear boundaries with your family members. That I don't have this much, but this is how much I can contribute. And additional to that, you know that you're already struggling with something. So you need to be able, once you are there, set time out for yourself.
You can put all of that into place, right? And then when you are in the midst of that family function, how does one then go about coping through that Easter lunch or that dinner? What are some of the tools that you can give us?
I think the first tool is to be aware of, so insight always leads to better judgment.
Insight leads to better judgment.
Yes.
Love that.
So always be aware when you have been triggered in that space. So have an awareness of your stress cues. It could be something physiological. You might be feeling a heart palpitation. You might be feeling quite anxious in that moment. So have that awareness, and it's always good to actually separate yourself from negativity and go out and reflect on what has happened in the moment. Because sometimes some people may often react in the space, which might then heighten the experience of conflict within that dining room table. So always step away, have a moment to reflect on what is happening. How are you feeling? What to do about it? Because a lot of people, what I may perhaps say as to not what to do, oftentimes you find that certain people may actually use self-soothing strategies, which we would often term maladaptive coping strategies, where they may self-soothe by using excessive substances. So that could be alcohol, it could be cannabis use, which may also trigger further anxiety and further conflict within the family. So that is definitely what not to do.
Yeah.
But what to do, practice mindfulness.
Yeah. And I guess to know that it'll pass, right? And then I want to leave on a positive note, because it sounds like when you go and see your family, it elicits joy and it elicits warmth and food and all those good feelings. How do we take those good feelings, if we do have those experiences with our family, and carry it through long term, so it doesn't just stay there for that lunch, but that long-term good feeling with our family can stay with us for an extended period of time?
So some people have positive relationships with their families and some people have negative relationships with their families. And so we need to foster those positive relationships. And what we take away from that is that these are people who are there to support us.
Yes.
These are people who are there to care for us. These are people who will answer the phone when you've gone back to your own home. And these are the people that you can have conversations with. And it's always nice when you feel understood by your family.
Yeah.
And it helps us as individuals also develop that understanding for other people. So I think that's what we can take away from that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, Easter Sunday is right around the corner, and on social media, we would like to know from you, what are your plans for the weekend? You can post your comments, and remember to use the hashtag #AfternoonExpress. We'll see you after the break.
We're in Zanzibar for Tropica Island of Treasure. Are you? Did you just swim here from South Africa? There's an easier way to find fame and your share of a smooth R1 million fortune. Simply upload your audition to social media, explain why you're a match for our celebs. Add the hashtag Tropica and tag @mytropica, and we could see you in Zanzibar. Buy a Tropica now and enter to be on the island.
Welcome back. Now he spent most of his 2023 spreading his brand and gqom music across the globe. Yes, Mr. Teller's in the house for a catch-up and, of course, to update us on his latest ventures. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Hey, Sisom.
Kunjan.
Phila kunjanan?
I'm as right as rain. You know, you bring music, you bring excitement, and you bring energy to every dance floor across South Africa. Now, for certain people who might not be familiar with your background and where you come from, you are a church child.
Yeah.
So much so you are even a pastor's child. How did that upbringing and that foundation shape not only who you are personally, but professionally?
For people that don't know me, my name is Simp. Grew up in Samora Machel. I'm a pastor's kid, and I used to play keyboard in church also. So I think that played a huge role in my career and what I do now, and the type of music that I do, because if you listen to my music, you can hear that there's almost like really a church background, especially with the chords and everything. So it has really helped me, like in my music and this type of music that I'm doing, of which it's now called church grooves.
Church grooves, I love it. So you went from gqom music to church grooves.
Yeah, it's gqom that's mixed with like some melodies, some church melodies, but it's more in the spiritual side.
Yeah.
So people have all the sort of names, but I, for one, call it church grooves.
I think I like church grooves, and I think church grooves is going to stick.
Church grooves, yeah.
That's perfect. And how important is family to you?
Family is very important. Family is like, first it's my job, then family after, because, yeah, the job takes care of the family. But family is a really important thing to me, and I really make sure that anytime I get on my free time, I'm always spending it with my family and making sure that everything and everyone is okay at home.
Last year, you basically spent the year being a globetrotter.
Yeah.
How was the experience like traveling?
It's been a wonderful experience, and I just can't wait because I want to travel more. And it's been a wonderful experience, especially for a person like me, coming up and growing up from where I come from. But everyone that knows me, like when I grew up, I would always tell them that take pictures with me now, because I don't see myself just playing here like locally or just here in South Africa. I'm going international, and seeing the dream come through and my work putting me there, that really excites me. And yeah, I'm still overwhelmed, and I still can't believe that it's actually me.
You've got those stamps on the passports.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also love your vision of being able to say, hey, whilst you have the opportunity, take pictures with me. Let's take this moment, let's bottle it up, because it's going to be extremely valuable moving forward. Martina Bantu, when they see you now.
No, people are like, I know. They appreciate the fact that I believe in myself, and like no one, because I believed in myself, and like no one believed in me. Even my mom at that time, she was like, I know this DJing thing, just do it as a hobby, don't take it serious and all that stuff. But so most of the people that I grew up with, like, they're like, I know. Now they're also starting to, other people, I'm like an inspiration. They're starting to believe in their dreams, and they're starting to push forward in what they want to achieve.
What would be some of your highlights in your career so far?
I would say going international.
Yeah. The SAMA nominations?
SAMA nominations. Recently I signed a music deal with Universal.
Oh, congrats.
And there's still more international gigs coming. So yeah, everything that's happening right now is just something that I've always dreamed of. And now they're becoming reality. And those are like really my highlights now. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Still so many more highlights to look forward to. A highlight that I'm looking forward to is seeing you in the kitchen. I have no clue what you are pega. Tell me about your love of all things culinary.
Yeah. Oh, so growing up, like being a firstborn, so we were taught to cook at a young age, because mama.
They're busy.
Yeah, they don't have a daughter, they don't have a son. You do everything, you wash dishes, you do everything. So that's where my love for cooking grew. And yeah, now being me, DJ, sometimes I don't want to eat takeaways because I'm always...
You're always on the road.
On the road, busy. So that's where like I really started to like being able to like, tell myself that, you know what, I need to take this cooking thing serious, because sometimes I just want to eat home-cooked meal.
Good food.
But now I'm away, and now just because I can't cook now, I'm not going to eat that. So
you turn
now
to
that's why I took it serious, and I love being in the kitchen now.
Oh, beautiful. Mr. Teller, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so
and you might as well take off Leo Banchi, because we're going to see you in the kitchen.
Okay, no problem.
What an incredible human and talent, and we cannot wait to see what he is going to achieve in the next few years.
Welcome back. With Easter just around the corner, it is time to bring a touch of creativity and charm to your table setting. So whether you're hosting a family dinner or casual get-together, a well-decorated table can elevate the entire dining experience. And that is why Jay will be showing us exactly how to make these DIY centerpieces to add a touch of handmade magic to your table setting. So I have a confession to make. I get a bit of anxiety when I see this kind of thing, because I always feel like I suck at arts and crafts.
That's it with a lot of people out there, Z, but it's so easy. And if you think about it, everything that I've put on this table today has been sort of foraged from our studio.
Where does one start?
So let's talk about the centerpiece, okay?
It's beautiful, by the way.
What I've done is I've taken eggshells, right? And we're all familiar with these little guys.
Yes.
I remember as a kid how we would all burn the end, pour it in, stick it down, you know, and that's exactly what I've done here. So I've put a little, sort of cut them off, put them into the base of an eggshell, and all you need to do is give it a light. And as this melts, I think using eggshells are so cool, because they actually are porous, so you can see how it starts to glow.
So that is so pretty.
I mean, how cool is that?
And they're quite hardy as well.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, they crack easily, but they are also really strong.
They are really strong.
That's
and
really
if they crack, I think that's part of the charm as well. And again, we've used the egg box.
The carton,
The carton as the vessel for this. So once this is done, you can put it in your vegetable garden if you
I
need
love that.
and
I
compost
love
it.
that.
So that's sort of the nice centerpiece, more for the adults to get involved as well. So maybe if you have children who are a bit more mature, this could be something that you could do together.
Yes.
So we've also got something else for the kids, and I'm really, I'm so excited about this because I love transforming Easter eggs.
Okay.
So we've got these little ones. I mean, how cute is that?
That is very, but if you asked me to draw that, I'd break into a sweat.
It's so easy. So what I've done is I've obviously gotten these white eggs.
Yes.
I'm not sure if
I know what they taste like. I love them, love them.
And then what I've used, so this is what people would call plastic icing fondant.
Okay.
You can make this at home. Marshmallows in a bowl in the microwave, melt them down quickly, and you add icing sugar to that. Just enough to make a paste, and that's exactly what I've done here. So I've made 2 little ears here. Okay.
Oh, sweet. Are they bunny ears or donkey ears?
I mean, you need to just use your imagination, you know. And I mean, any kind of bunny is a cute bunny,
yeah, absolutely.
Right? So I've molded this from the gum paste or fondant that I've used. I would allow this to dry overnight because then it just makes it easier to adhere.
Okay.
And then what I've done, I've taken that paste, mixed it with water, and it becomes your glue. So what you do is you just take a little bit of that and you put it on top of your egg. Let's put this one in the front. So you put a little bit on top of your egg. Okay. Now, obviously, you do want to take the time to do this because you really want it to stick nicely.
Okay. That's a unicorn egg.
So that's a unicorn egg. And then you can just add the next ear. We've also got a little nose. Okay. And then what I've done is I've got an edible marker. Are you going to try, Z? Are you going to try?
Okay.
It's just beautiful eyes with lashes and a little mouth. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see this. Okay, so...
have I gone too far?
I think you've gone a little bit too far, but I think, you know what I'm going to...
My bunny's cute.
You know what I think we can do to just zhuzh that up? We're going to add some edible flowers here.
Okay.
So if you pass that, looks beautiful, Z.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. This bunny's been hopping around far too long. So I'll just add a little flower on the top there. And then we can add a little blush. So I've got some edible color over here. Add, it's such a pretty...
Everyone's laughing at my bunny.
Such a pretty
you see why I don't do
bunny.
this?
And you know what, see, I think... I've gone and blushed the eye. I think this is worthy of our table, Z. So I'm going to... place it beautifully there.
Thank you. Okay, well, there you go. Creating a beautiful Easter table doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. So whether you opt for bright colors, rustic elements, or some elegant touches, the key is to incorporate your personal style and to make your guests feel welcome. You made me feel welcome. Chad January joins us now to show us how to transform a leg of lamb into something special for Easter. He's going to stuff it and serve it with a herb sauce, which is perfect for a gathering of friends and family. So I'm predominantly vegetarian and vegan, but I have to say what you have down here looks all good.
Thanks.
Tell us what you're doing.
Okay, so firstly, there's the stuffing parts of the lamb.
Okay, which is
right?
a big thing apparently.
That is, and I think the most important thing is you've got to make sure that your stuffing is ice cold, because you're going to put warm stuffing onto raw cold meat.
Okay.
That's going to be a health issue.
Okay, tell us why.
So you're basically going to be semi-cooking that meat with your cooked stuffing onto your raw meat, and that's not what we want, right?
Okay.
So in the stuffing, in my pan, I've basically just got some pork sausages, but you could use beef sausages. I mean, if you are going a vegetarian, you'd obviously not use lamb, but you can maybe always stuff like your veggie boats or stuff butternut or your aubergines, that type of thing. So yeah, we've just got our meat in. You could use beef, sausage, or lamb if you'd like. We've got some onions in there, and then we're going to add in some fennel. Right, fennel's got like this beautiful like licorice flavor, so it just like lifts up this dish because lamb is obviously quite rich itself, and that just basically cooks down. All right, and we'll add in some wine.
Tell you're going to do a sauce for us as well while Chad is doing that.
Okay, so while I'm adding in the wine, just watch out, that just pops a little. That's fine. the wine's going to take at least about 5 or 10 minutes to cook down. So let's get into sauce, right? So this is a beautiful green sauce. It's got some herbs in. You can literally just throw in every single ingredient as is into the jug. Okay. Okay, so we've got some mint, some parsley. We've got some anchovy paste, olives, mustard, gherkins, and we've got some pistachios with that like bright green color.
That sounds all good.
And then we're just adding in some olive oil and a little bit of... You just add everything in.
You just hoy?
Yeah.
You enjoy cooking? Yeah. You do? What do you usually make?
I use mince and pasta. So linguine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You love your pasta?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I like pasta is because it's easy to make and it's fast.
It is, yes. And it also feels like home. Like I know for many, this is such a celebratory meal when it comes to spending time with family, right, Chad? It's like going home to mom's leg of lamb.
It really is. And it's one of those meals that can actually feed a crowd.
Yes.
And obviously in family times, there's those guests who arrive and not meant to be there. This is how you can actually feed them.
Yes.
Okay, so I've just added a bit of garlic into my stuffing mixture, and you can just blend that sauce up beautifully. There we go. Just let it settle a little bit, and then we'll taste it and see if it needs maybe a little bit of lemon juice or maybe a little more vinegar, some salt. But that is perfect.
And so this goes as a side?
This is a side. So you'll taste it and it's quite acidic simply because the lamb itself is very rich. So you want to break through that richness, and that sauce goes beautifully.
Okay.
So we've used a lamb shoulder simply because it's a tougher cut, which means it cooks for longer. So you're going to cook it for about 2 to 3 hours, max 4, right? So our stuffing is... Because of this TV, our stuffing is cool. Okay. And you're going to put it onto the one side of the lamb. All right, you'll add them into the one side of the lamb. It will, as you start stuffing it, you'll notice that some of the filling falls out. That just adds to beautiful gravy when you put it into your actual baking dish. So I'm just going to stuff them like that. And then, of course, you've got to season the inside of your meat with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then, literally, all you do is you hold it together and you roll it away from you, never towards you. All right, and then we would take some kitchen twine to hold it together. Yeah. Pop that onto a baking tray, cover with foil, and that goes into the oven for about 3.5 to 4 hours. It does depend on your size of lamb. You normally go at about 20 minutes per 500 gram based on your actual cut of meat that you're using. Yeah. But drizzle with oil, baking tray into the oven, and that's done. So now we're going to the potatoes. Now, I always feel like with lamb, you've got to have some crispy potatoes.
Yes.
And this one is done a little bit differently. So we basically roasted it twice. So you roast it, right? And then while it's still a little warm, you take your fork, right? Yes. And all you do is you slightly mash them. Right? What this does is this creates that beautiful, like, rough texture. Yes. And when it roasts, that's what gives you that crispiness that you want, right? So these guys are going to go in.
How long did you cook that for before this?
So it depends on the size of the potatoes. So if you're going to go with baby potatoes, you want to cook them for about 10, 15 minutes at least, right? If you're going for larger potatoes, I definitely say cut them in half and maybe just go for about 15 to 20.
Okay. Potatoes and pasta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and then this just gets a little bit of salt and a bit of pepper, and then if you want, you can pop this into the oven for us. Okay. And then that's done.
Thanks, guys. Well, there you go. To get this recipe, all you have to do is head on over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Female friendships give you the freedom to be yourself, and that is something to celebrate. So here to give you and your bestie the chance to make amazing memories is the incredible team from Ghard. Help me welcome brand manager Uzizi Potkuma and Ghana girl Thuli Sandile. Welcome back to the loft, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Looking oh so pretty in your pink. I feel left out, but this is how I can get stuck in. Tell me all about this exciting Ghard Ultimate Girls Getaway. Number one, why is it so important, and why did you decide to give these ladies such a special opportunity?
Absolutely, Palisa. I'm so excited to tell you about the trip that we're giving away. To your question, it's very important. You know, we as ladies, we're busy hustling, you know, mumming, doing all the things that ladies do. So I think a trip is well-deserved for any lady in South Africa, especially for you and your bestie. Yeah. And that is just what Ghard is doing. We are giving away 3 amazing, all-expense paid trip to Sun City Resort, where you can get time to spend with your bestie, with Ghard, of course, in Sun City, just to pamper yourself, you know, go on adventures, enjoy yourself, you know, take care of yourself and just, you know, recollect yourself.
Tell me about it, Thuli. This gets me excited because opportunities like this, they truly add emphasis and celebrate the value of female friendships. So for you, why are female friendships so valuable, and how then do getaway trips like these continue to strengthen that bond and empower women?
As women, our female friendships are very important because that's where we're able to find sisterhood, support, and we're able to take the world together as one. So you never feel alone. So a trip like this is very important because I feel like it's an opportunity for us ladies to reconnect with our besties, take some time away, relax, and just enjoy.
Zizipho, when it comes to women feeling their most comfortable and confident selves, you've got so many Ghard products that help us do so, especially when we're out there having fun and on such adventures.
Yes, Ghard has a wide range of products which are pH balanced, specifically made for the gentle, intimate area of women, especially when you're going on an adventure like this. We know it's hot summer months, you may be getting sweating, irritations, and Ghard has the right product just for that. For instance, our intimate washes, they're pH balanced, they're scientifically formulated with gentle ingredients to make sure that they cater for your needs. We'll also have the intimate wipes for on the go. If you're traveling, you're using public toilets, you always keep them handy. After a long day of doing adventures or pampering or whatever it is, we have your foam baths that you can just take your downtime and relax without interfering your body or your intimate area. So we've got the right tools for you to make sure that you're always keeping fresh and confident at all times.
And you're taken care of. I mean, Thuli, girls like us, we're always out and about, we're busy, we're active, there's always something to do. So what tips and tricks would you give some of our viewers that want to still maintain their feminine hygiene, be comfortable and confident, but throughout the day?
So for me to feel confident and fresh throughout the day, I always recommend the Ghard Intimate Wash. That's how I start my day. Get ready for the day and making sure that I shower or take a bath. So the first thing would definitely be the Ghard Intimate Wash. And something that I always have with me are my Ghard wipes. So the Ghard Intimate Wipes, they're perfect. Whether you put them in your handbag, in your traveling bag, they fit everywhere. Even if you're taking a drive, you can put them in your car. So for me, those are like my essentials every time when I feel like I'm having a very busy day.
Ladies, I might not be a Ghard ambassador, but I do see myself as somewhat of a Ghard girl. As your ladies are talking about those products, I'm like, yep, have that, can't live without that, need to go get that. But a lot of viewers right now want to find out how they can walk away with this Ghard Ultimate Girls Getaway Weekend in Sun City. How can they enter?
Very easy, Palisa. I know today we've spoken about a lot of products that we as Ghard offer. However, what we've done is we've simplified it for our beautiful ladies. All you need to do is rush to your favorite store, get yourself any Ghard wash, be it a 140ml, 250ml or 450ml, and take a picture of your till slip, WhatsApp it to our WhatsApp line, which will be provided, and that's it. Easy as that.
It's just that simple, and hopefully you get to share some more incredible memories with your bestie, ladies. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, true freedom brings about happiness, joy, and indescribable power. If you want to tap into sharing that freedom with your bestie, enter the Ghard competition right now. And here's how to enter. What if you could whisk your bestie away on the ultimate girls trip? How does an exclusive luxury getaway to Sun City sound? While 3 all-expenses-paid VIP trips are up for grabs in the Ghard Ultimate Girls Getaway competition. To enter, just buy any Ghard Intimate Wash and WhatsApp a picture of your till slip to 066 417 1923. Competition runs from the 1st of March to the 30th of April. Ghard, free to just be. T's and C's apply.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
The holidays can often present new challenges for parents and for children alike. Now, with vacations, hosting family, and trying to keep the kids entertained, it can be tough on our relationships with our little ones. We're joined again by clinical psychologist Sebokazi Mtati, who will share some key steps that parents can take to enhance their parenting skills and to foster a positive relationship with their children. As a parent, I know that holidays is a difficult time and I dread it. And when it's back to school, I'm so happy because I feel like routine starts again.
Yeah.
How do we maintain sanity during the holidays with our kids?
It's often a really hard time, especially if they're on a lot of sugar. They'll be running around the whole day. First thing, I think it's important to encourage your child to express themselves. Encourage them to express themselves by you showing that I'm here for you, I will listen to you, and give them advice, and often and always encourage them to kind of explore the environment, because then they might be in a new environment, right? But also to set boundaries in terms of do not go there. So let's just keep the play time in this setting.
Yes.
So it's always important to encourage them to also say to you, "Mommy, how about I do this?" And then you kind of build boundaries around that.
Yes, and listen with an open mind.
Yes.
So as a clinical psychologist, I'd love to ask you this. You know, there's a couple of thoughts and schools of parenting. One of the schools of thought is that you just let your kids be, where there are no boundaries, there's no routine, there's no rituals, there's none of that. And then there are parenting schools that have structure and boundaries and rituals. What's your take on either?
So kids respond well to structure. They love the predictability of structure. They love to know what comes next. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel secure. So I think I would go with, setting those, what was it again?
Boundaries.
Those boundaries, yes.
Structures, yes.
The structure, yes.
Now we're also talking about the holidays, right? And we speak about environments. And so you're in that environment which is safe, you know, where your wardrobe is, you do the little fashion show for mom. That's all well and good. But now we go on holiday, we go into our grandparents or into a hotel or into a space that, you know, that has other people, and we need to respect that space. You so beautifully spoke earlier on about how we put preparation in place before we go to our family for a vacation. How do we put the preparation in place as parents for our kids when we're going somewhere else?
So firstly, communication. We need to communicate to our kids that this is where we are going. We're going to a hotel, or we're going to Granny's place, and this is what we can expect when we get there. It's going to look like this. You might not have your own room. You might have your own room. So how can you prepare your child to be able to, because it's often hard for children to even fall asleep in a new environment.
Absolutely.
So a lot of preparation has to go into setting those boundaries as well, and putting that structure into place. That although we are going to Granny's place, and although we are going to a hotel, you still have to follow this structure.
Yeah.
You have, homework that has been given to us for us to do during school holidays. So we still have to continue doing that. And it's, with the packing, let them pack their clothes. Let them feel involved in the whole situation, so that they don't feel that their parents are just taking them wherever. So let them make that decision as to, I want to pack these clothes. This is what I want to look like during holidays.
Yes.
And teddies, if it's young kids, they might have a favorite teddy that helps them to fall asleep.
Yes.
So it's important to allow them to bring that, because then once they have that in place, at this new environment or this new space, they're able to feel a sense of security that they've brought something home.
Yes.
You'll often find sometimes when kids go to creche for the first time, they take their little blanket with them or a piece of something from home.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
I love that. So I'd love to end with, tell me, what is one of your biggest joys of being a parent?
I think one of my biggest joys is seeing her develop into this unique individual that she is. She is not like me. She's not like her dad, but she's so flamboyant. She's full of life. So I think watching that as a parent and not contaminating that, because as parents we often can contaminate growth and development.
Yes.
We talk often about impingements, which are developmentally inappropriate traumas for the child. So allowing her to grow and express herself and explore her environment and make her own decisions. So I think I've enjoyed that part about her, and I've enjoyed the fashion shows, of course.
Yes.
She's very flamboyant.
I love that, enjoying her flourish. Thank you so much, Sewakazi. So for all those parents watching, remember that implementing these steps can transform your parenting approach and strengthen the bond that you have with your children. We'll see you in a bit.
Elevate your custard game with the all-new vanilla-flavoured clover custard. So creamy and smooth, it makes all the other desserts a little jelly.
No South African Easter menu is complete without a trifle. So today we are going all out and making a colourful masterpiece layered with jelly, cake and only the best custard we could find. Clover's brand new vanilla flavoured custard. Now friend, we tried the vanilla flavoured custard from Clover last week in our Malva pudding recipe, and now you're about to elevate it with a trifle.
Well, let's just first start off with the trifle, right? Now, whether you like it or not, trifle will always be there on Sunday lunch, Easter lunch, wherever you are, it is there.
Yeah,
so
present.
Get with it, right? So this is a cute way that you can also get the family involved, get everyone. You know, we've done little miniature ones, which I think is fun. Everyone gets their own trifle.
Very reminiscent of a rainbow.
Exactly, that's what we're going. Easter's fun, colourful, that's all the vibes we're going for. So I've got 6 eggs in here, I've got some sugar, and I've got a little bit of vanilla, and we're really going to whisk this up until it's light and fluffy.
You're just starting with basically making the cake portion.
Cake element, yes, that's
correct.
correct.
The cake element of this layered trifle.
Exactly.
Lovely.
So we're going to emulsify our eggs with our sugar, and then I'm going to add in the oil.
Lovely.
And that's going to give us the moisture that we need, because no one likes a dry trifle.
Absolutely not. Okay, cool. So as you are creating that layered cake element, on my side, I've got all the ingredients that are already kind of together. I've got some jelly, which definitely also goes into the layers. We've got those cute, colourful cake cutouts that you've given me. And is this some cream?
That's some whipped cream. So that's something that you can add to the top.
Okay.
But you're missing one ingredient.
The custard.
There you go.
Listen, I can never forget about the custard. For me, someone who doesn't have a sweet tooth like myself, custard is always just the perfect amount. It is luxurious, it is silky, it is velvety, and it's extremely, extremely delicious, but not too much sweetness in there. So that's why I'm just such a huge fan.
So creamy, perfect combination of sweetness and creaminess. And what I also love, you can serve it hot or cold. Now, what's your favorite, hot or cold?
It depends what I'm having it with. Honestly, it depends on the dessert. Last week we made a Malva pudding, definitely warming up my custard. But in today's recipe, like with the trifle, I need it cold.
Yes, so that's what I love. Versatility, versatility, versatility.
So my friend, does it matter what I start with?
So I would start with a nice, maybe with a nice layer of the custard.
Okay.
That always gives you a nice base to start off with.
Lovely.
And while you're busy with that, I'm just quickly going to fold in my flour, Pali, and that's the last step for the cake.
Oh, and then that's
Something
it.
like that, yeah.
And then when it comes to colouring the cake, because I kind of want to duplicate this for all of the little ones at home.
So depending on the kind of colour you're trying to achieve, gel colours can be quite potent. So always start with a little bit and work your way up to the colour that you want to achieve. I always usually keep a toothpick on hand, dip it into some of the gel colour and then swirl it into my batter and then continue doing that until I get the colour that I achieve.
Gotcha.
And always use a gel colour when it comes to cake batter. If you're using a powdered colour, you may not get it evenly distributed and it becomes a big problem when you bake.
Okay, love that. I'm almost done with my layering. And how's it going on the cake station?
This looks amazing. So because I've used a darker sugar, I've used treacle sugar just because I love that intense caramel flavour in the sponge. You can see that it's got quite a nice caramel flavour. So I'm going to put this into my tins and then we're going to bake them off.
I'm adding my final layer of custard. I'm going to go for like a mountaintop kind of vibe.
I love that. And look at how super elegant this has turned out, you know. Trifles, I think, have a bit of a bad rap for being a bit old-fashioned, and I think this is a nice way to elevate it.
There we go. And because we are celebrating Easter this weekend, I put a lovely chocolate Easter egg on top. And obviously Jay is going to steal it, but it's fine, friend, for all of your hard work. Now that the batter is in those tins.
Nicely sprayed with some cooking spray into the oven, 180 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes.
Boom. Just like that. Well,
super important, cool cakes, cool custard, cool jelly, cool whipped cream, cool.
we're keeping it cool this Easter. Now go all out this weekend and make this Easter-inspired trifle for your friends and for your family. They will absolutely love it. To get this full recipe online, please do head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
The community we have served over the last 30 years holds immense importance for the bonds forged, lives touched, and the trust we have established. Every interaction, every prescription filled, and every bit of advice that has been furnished to our patient contributes to the wellness and positive outcome of the patient. In this way, a profound sense of purpose and belonging is established.
So pharmacist-initiated therapy empowers pharmacists and allows them to initiate treatment or medication without a doctor's prescription. In this community especially, where access to healthcare is limited or restricted due to the financial constraints of a patient, the pharmacy is usually the first point of care. This allows us as pharmacists to identify, initiate, and monitor therapy, and allows our patients to get access to prompt and appropriate care.
To continue to be a brave pharmacist after 30 years as a proudly independent pharmacist, especially with daughters who have become pharmacists, involves evolving a culture of excellence, compassion, and innovation. I now have to embrace mentorship to guide the next generation in focusing on patient-centered outcomes, on empathy, and on increasing pharmacovigilance.
By working as a retail pharmacist in a predominantly underprivileged community, I am able to address healthcare barriers by improving access to medication, empowering patients to make informed decisions about their health, and promoting their overall wellness. There is an overwhelming sense of fulfillment knowing that each day I have an opportunity to make a difference to a patient's life.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave, inspiring communities one pharmacy at a time.
We've been long in the game, healing South Africa one allergy at a time. All the sneezing, runny nose, itching of nose and throat, we've left no stone unturned until finally South Africa recognized us. You've given us the courage to continue to do what we do best. Live, work, play, sleep allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy. Ask your pharmacist for the full allergy range. Brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Celebrating the profound impact of storytelling, Absa has unveiled its fresh brand expression, Your Story Matters. They want you to know that everyone's story, big or small, loud or quiet, holds significance. And just recently, Zuraidah sat down with the Absa team to unpack how they're bringing this mantra to life.
Sydney, can you tell us about the brand promise of Your Story Matters and how that's been showing up in the marketing of the Car Consumer Awards or the Joburg Film Festival?
So essentially, when we say Your Story Matters, Zuraidah, we are really interfacing with your life. In your life, you've got many life events, and one of those could be buying a new car, could be upgrading your car, or could be buying someone a car. And we just zone in onto that data point and demonstrate how your story matter, right? How we enable you to be able to get that new car. Remember, in many communities, acquiring a new car is a symbol of achievement, and enabling it for us is very important because it demonstrates our partnership of how we put our clients at the center of what we do. That's just one example. Now, the Joburg Film Festival is another, where we really partner with the industry that seeks to truly progress, the arts and culture, which is a very big passion point in our country and continent. And we help young filmmakers to be able to realize their dreams. We inject a lot of resources in helping them run their businesses better, and helping women to be able to play a part in the mainstream economy within the arts sector. So there's many other examples I can give you, but those two hopefully just give you a sense of how, when you start to operationalize and make your story matters tangible, what it could look like.
So Absa has injected 150,000 Rand into a young filmmaker, Ntokozo Malaba's next project. Why was that important to you?
Zoreda, his story matters. I'm sort of tempted to answer it that way. It matters because he now can find a way to realize his dreams, his aspirations. And then hopefully with the little that we've given, he's able to recognize that a bank like ours is seeing beyond the facade of all the impediments that stood in his life. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to develop, produce, for all of us into the future.
The Absa Story Spotters campaign. So that is an initiative that Absa is putting out to find more people to share more of their stories.
Beyond saying to you, Zoreda, that your story matters, we think there's value in you recognizing other people's stories. Because in seeing other people's stories and calling them out and telling those stories, you are inspiring and amplifying, replicating what is happening in just one individual to a whole lot more people. So I encourage you, wherever you see a story that you think is inspiring, spot it, post it. Don't forget the hashtag #YourStoryMatters. And let's see how this movement goes that seeks to take all of us to a new future.
Sydney, that was so poignant and beautiful. Thank you so much. There you have it, guys. Your story matters. And here's the thing about stories. When we share our stories, we give others permission to share their stories. And in that, we realize that we are more alike than we are different. Your story matters.
I love all celebrations, so that can only tell you how geared up I am for the weekend ahead. Easter weekend, baby.
Chocolates.
Yeah, lots of chocolates, lots of chocolates. Meaning on our social media, we want to find out from you, as we do gear up, what are your plans? What are you getting up to on Easter? For yourself, Z?
I just said I'm doing the chocolate Easter egg hunt.
Duh, Pally. That is actually one of my fondest memories. Yes. Being I don't think my parents put out Easter eggs for us, but I did it for my baby brother. And I just want to keep the tradition going. Sweet. So definitely let us know and use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. But what a great show it was. Thanks to all of our guests for their valuable insights. And if you have missed anything, please be sure to catch the repeats on Sunday at 8:30 a.m. But for now, stay safe and see you next Tuesday.
Elevate your custard game with the all-new vanilla-flavored Clover Custard. So creamy and smooth, it makes all the other desserts a little jelly.
Another feel-good production.